Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Scampanello. Resolved that the special meeting commence at the hour of 1 p.m. And be it further resolved that Council acknowledges that we are meeting in the Robinson Superior Treaty Area on lands that have been traditionally used by several Indigenous nations. But we would like to pay special recognition to our closest Indigenous neighbours in the communities of Bittigawn, Nishnabek, and Pickbober First Nations. We wish to recognize the long history of the First Nations and Métis people in our region specifically and show respect for them today. All in favour? Call the meeting to order. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. Moved by Councillor Scampanelli, seconded by Councillor Moffat. Resolved that the agenda be approved as circulated. All in favour? Thank you. There are no delegations, presentations. Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Scampanello. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report ADM 2022-22 submitted by Clarence McLean, CAO, regarding the 2022 municipal operating budget.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. Following the presentation of the first draft budget to Council on March 31st, Council directed staff to seek public consultation on the draft budget, and the report before you summarizes the 4 responses that we received through My Manitouage. We did advertise the opportunity to provide input through Facebook and on the website, as well as in the April edition of the Boreal. Sorry, I'm just going to flip over to the survey. We can tell from the survey itself that 13 people visited the page, and there were 4 people who provided input. And those comments are summarized for Council. Neither Chris nor myself received any questions from the public by email or by phone. And basically there isn't any comments from the public that suggest that the budget be changed. 50% of the comments were in support of the budget. One person was not in support and the other person was unsure. So I think it's a fair assumption to say that the public is content with the budget as presented. We have no reason to believe otherwise at this point.
Okay, thank you. So do we want to start now with the adjustments that we spoke about?
Certainly. You're up.
All right. Thank you, through the chair. At the first council meeting related to the budget, administration was come back with to provide an operational budget for the pool, and the management team sat down earlier this week and provided all of those figures as per council's request, and they're up on the screen for your viewing. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Okay, through the chair, that's budgeted, but now we still don't know if we have lifeguards or if the pool is repairable or can be repaired, etc. Correct?
I'll leave that to Katie.
Correct. So what we're looking for is a direction. You'll see the costs that are outlined, but there is still a big unknown regarding the repair until we can get them to come in and take a look. My understanding is they'll be here next week. Who's going first?
Through the chair, I spoke to our contractor who did the repair in 2019. They had left some recommendations that unfortunately did not proceed at that time. We were in the process of draining the wet well inside the facility. Once that is done, we'll be able to look at piping, and they're anticipating, if it is what they believe to be, it is a relatively minor repair. But they will be there in White River basically every week now until the end of the summer. And once we have everything prepared, they will come in, inspect, and give us some direction.
Okay, that sounds very positive, so, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any further questions in the pool area?
What do you need to know from us on this, though?
So at the moment, we're just presenting the changes to council from the draft budget, and there's one more under the capital budget request.
You see two minor changes. Public Works was asking for UV, the drinking well inspections. Originally, we were asking to start a reserve for $15,000 each year in order to cover those costs without having a large impact in 1 year. After review, it was determined that we can hold off for the 1 year, and we will start doing that next year, or presenting that next year. So that freed up $15,000 of this year's capital budget. And as you were informed, that we were approved for the $5 million Manitou infrastructure project. We need to start preparing for that and utilizing some funds. And management had discussed using the $94,000 from the NORDS funding that we were approved for to cover those costs. So that project for this year is going to be what do we call it in here?
It's under water work.
Yeah, sorry, the Manitou Upgrades Water Sewer. We will start that this year, I believe. Yes.
So there's no impact to the budget because we already have funds in a reserve account to do the engineering and design.
And as through the report, you will see it was explained that there's a 0.0002% tax rate increase as the budget is currently presented to you, which would leave a $50,000 house, assessed value on a house would see an approximate increase of $11 as it's presented to you right now.
Okay.
Other than that, there were no further changes since our first meeting.
So, through the chair, I'm going to say that is the closest to zero we're going to get.
I would say it's pretty close.
Yeah. Okay. I'm happy with that.
Yes, so am I.
Through the chair, comment more than a question. I think it was done very well, and more than happy with it. Thank you.
So we're just looking to pass the budget?
Yes.
Okay, looks like the public is satisfied. All right.
Or to be 0% increase.
Are there any other questions that we have?
No.
Okay. And be it further resolved that upon conclusion of Council's review and consideration, Council approves the 2022 municipal operating budget as presented at the April 21st, 2022 Council meeting. All in favor? Moved by Councillor Scampanella, seconded by Councillor Barola, being a bylaw to adopt the estimate for the sums required during the year 2022 for general purpose of the Corporation of the Township of Manitouwadge, and to repeal bylaw 2021-22 be read a first and second time, and further be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2022-21. All in favor? Moved by Councillor Scampanella, seconded by Councillor Moffat, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Township of Manitouwadge at its meeting held Thursday, April 21st, 2022, be read a first and second time, and further be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2022-22. All in favor? Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Rowland, resolved that the special meeting adjourn at the hour of 1:09. All in favor?